Hi everyone, welcome to Calm Kids. This webinar is made for you if you are wanting to have a calmer, more peaceful household with your children. So I want to talk to you a little bit about who I am and where I come from and what my approach to having a calmer household is, and then we'll get stuck into the webinar. So as I said, my name is Belle. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a wellness coach. I have been practicing as a remedial massage therapist for 20 years. And during that time, I have used energetic healing, emotion code, and body code to help really tap into kids, mums, and try to find the underlying layers around why kids tend to go a little bit crazy, or as my mum says, fall out of their tree. So I've got 3 kids of my own. They're ages from 7 to 15, and I've also got 2 very handsome stepsons, and they're in their teens as well. Before becoming a mother, I was actually a nanny in America, in Switzerland, and here as well. And I looked after, over 20 children in that time. I love working with kids. I particularly love working with kids under 5. I find that it allows me to tap into my sense of my inner child, and I get to play again, and I really love that. I also really love being at home and looking after the house. Now, as a business owner for the last 10 years and having 3 kids, and for some of that time I was a single mum, I didn't have a lot of time to stay at home and do housework, and that really stressed me out. The reason I'm telling you that is I really think it's important that you look at yourself as a mum and seeing how you're being fulfilled, how you're looking after yourself, and how you're engaging in self-care when you're trying to help your kids to calm down and be more peaceful. Now, I don't subscribe to the idea that your kids' behavior is your fault. Absolutely not. I believe that kids are their own unique individual, and there's a whole bunch of needs that come into play for them. But I do believe that peace in the home starts right with you. So what I want to offer you is, if there's any oil that you hear about in this webinar today that you would like to try for yourself, then get in touch with me, and I would love to send you a sample to help calm you, soothe you, motivate you, uplift you, whatever it is that you're looking for, because I want to help you. So let me tell you a little bit more about me. I've worked in the wellness industry for 20 years. As I said, I've self-employed for 10. I'm a remedial massage therapist by trade. That's what I was trained in. But then I branched out into niching, working with pre- and postnatal women, which then led into working with women in those stages just after they've had their postnatal months. So maybe from 6 months to 12 months, when they're starting to realize that they need to look after themselves again. I love working with women in this phase of life because it's where they start to really identify and understand what floats their boat and what helps them. And sometimes what I've noticed when working with families is that the household can become very erratic and not peaceful when mum is not feeling good. So I'm very passionate about working with women to help their whole household become better. So I started using doTERRA oils about 18 months ago. As a therapist, I've used essential oils for years and years. I've had adverse reactions to many of them because of the amount of volume I was using. So you see, essential oils are going straight onto my skin when I'm massaging. So for the client, they experience it for about an hour. But for me, it could be 8 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. It's a long time with essential oils. So I was a little bit scared of using them. I was also of the old school science idea that essential oils we need to stay away from. They can be bad. They can cause irritations. They should only be used in the hands of an experienced practitioner, etc., etc. Now, some of these things are true. Some of these things are not. It's old science. And what I'm going to bring you today is the new science, the cutting edge way of using essential oils, making sure that the oils you use are of the highest purity and from sustainable resources, and that they come with the energetic vibration attached that is for abundance, for health, for wellness, and vitality. So the essential oils that I'm going to show you today have actually worked for me personally. They've also worked for my kids as well. And they're not the magic bullet. So bear in mind, they're not the magic cure. There is a whole host of things that come into play when using essential oils for very specific reasons. And if you're not looking at the entire mind, body, and emotional or spirit life, then you're going to have a little bit of trouble finding true peace and balance and change. So keep that in mind. I look at the whole person. I'm a holistic therapist, and that goes for your kids as well. Your kids are amazing creations, and if we can learn to speak their language and tap into who they are and not push our needs onto them all the time and let them have a voice, amazing change and transformation will happen in your home. So I want to empower you to heal yourself first. That is my number one mission as a wellness practitioner. Heal you, then heal your home, and then you can heal the world. So come with me on this journey. You are going to be inspired, you're going to be empowered, and you're going to learn a lot. So I'm just sharing my screen now. And we're going to go into my Calm Kids webinar, Natural Solutions for a More Peaceful Home Life. So as I said, I've introduced myself. This is me, if you don't know me. This is me on my honeymoon about 8 months ago up in far north Queensland. Isn't it stunning? So I just want to touch on where I've written there that it says that 18 months ago I started using doTERRA oils. I'd had really severe allergies before using other brands, and what I've noticed with doTERRA is that it's actually helped me a lot with my skin, with my mucus production. I used to always have a postnasal drip, and also with my tummy pains as well. And I'm going to touch on tummy pains later on in the program. They've helped me save money, a lot of money, because I've got my kit now. And that's important to know that once you've spent money on your kit, a lot of times people will say, oh, I'm not sure about the outlay. You don't need any other chemist brand ever, because with your kit you can treat things like scrapes and bites and stings. You can treat tummy pains, nausea, gastro. You can treat emotional imbalance. You can treat burns. There's so much first aid you can use. Oh, earaches, fevers, headaches, that sort of thing. So with my oil kit, that's my first aid kit now. I hardly ever go to the chemist. It might be to get a Band-Aid if I happen to need it. And so it saves me time there, but it also saves me time at the doctor as well, because a lot of physical symptoms are simply a reflection of the emotional body. So if you've got a child who gets anxious, I wonder if they have a lot of tummy problems. Do they get tummy cramping and pain? Do they throw up a lot when they're really anxious? You know, migraines will come out in little kids as well, and that's just a symptom of them being worried or scared or overwhelmed by life. So as a mind-body wellness specialist, I always look at the symptom, knowing that there is something underneath it. So I want you to keep that in mind as well. So my approach to having calm kids is multifaceted. So I like to make sure that first and foremost, I check their food. I check their liquid intake. I make sure my kids have lots of water. There is no soft drink in the house. And very, very rarely will you see me buying juice. If I'm going to make juice, I'll do it myself in the juicer, and it's not very often. So always check food and liquid intake for your kids. Always check their sleeping routine and schedule. So keep a little note. Okay, on this particular night, son, Master 9, not talking about anyone I know, got up 4 times between 8:30 and 10:30 before he finally went to bed. Okay, so what did he eat that day? And this is what I'll be thinking about. What time did I settle him down? What time did I start his routine? So this is something I always check. So keep a little diary, keep a food diary, keep a liquid intake, keep an activity diary. I always check their screen time as well. Now, my son, Master 9, he could spend all day on his iPad, and he would be the quietest, most easiest person to be around. But you know what happens the minute he gets off his screen time? He is angry. And I believe that's something to do with his withdrawal from the senses. It's too much for his little brain to cope with all the time. Too many flashing things, too many things running around, too much thinking, you know. I'm quite an addictive personality. I love The Sims, if anyone remembers that. And I could spend all day on that as well. But I know it's not good for me because it's addictive for my personality, and I think my little one is the same. So I need to limit screen time. I need to set up a schedule with him so he knows you get an hour here, you get half an hour there, and he knows it, and he's more compliant because it's been set up for him. But if I simply say to him, get off the iPad, then World War 18 will take off. So just be aware of checking their screen time and schedule it and let them be part of it if they're old enough to be part of that kind of negotiation. I always check family time as well. And I think to myself, okay, how much one-on-one time have they had with me or me with all three kids? How much time have we had together? It's really important because you want to build social interaction and you want it to be strong. Remember, you're forming little people and you're teaching them about the ways of the world just by modeling the behavior. So yes, you're exhausted. I totally get being exhausted. But you come home from work or you come home from doing whatever you've been doing. If you're a stay-at-home mum, you might have been cleaning the entire house and it's been full on and it's hot weather and it's yuck and you're exhausted by the time you pick them up from school or preschool. They still need a part of you. So think about ways you can involve them with you that involve you laying out on the floor. Maybe you could play cards. Maybe you could play a little board game. Maybe you could do drawings with them. Maybe you could do painting. There's a lot of ways that you can do lazy mum approach, as I like to call it, which helps to nourish you, rest your body, but also engage with your child because that's really what they want. I want you to check your emotional health as well. So if you're not a particularly aware emotional person, this might be difficult for you, but it's something to start considering. I want you to start asking your child, how do you feel? And try not to make it too big. Just ask the main things. Do you feel angry? Do you feel sad? Do you feel happy? Are you bored? Are you frustrated? These 5 emotions can be very helpful for helping your child to associate and verbalize what they're feeling. So start to check their emotional health. I would suggest you keep a little book and keep a list of all of these things in here. And every time something's not quite right or something is very right, write it down. Write around the surroundings of it, what they've just eaten for lunch, what you've been doing with them, where they've been, how much they slept the night before. You'll start to see a pattern and start to understand your child a little bit more. I want you to check their their exercise habits. Now, it's very important that children get to run around and burn off some energy. You know, some kids need to burn off energy every hour or two for their mental and emotional health. So child OTs will be able to help you with that, and they've got some great strategies. So get in touch or have a look online for OT tips for dealing with children that seem to have a lot of energy to burn up. I know one friend of mine, and she's an amazing mother. She found with her very sensitive child that they need to get very physical every hour. And this was before she went to school. So one thing they used to do is grab all the pillows off the couch and throw them onto the floor as hard as they could and make as much laughter and giggles and noises as they possibly could. And they did this for a few minutes, over and over and over. I mean, what kid wouldn't love that, okay? Structured, crazy time. I love it. Now, another thing they used to do is get the washing baskets and push them up and down the hallway, you know. So it gets them involved, it gets the big muscle group movement, and it also has a real sense of lightness and playfulness. And my goodness, there's no way my mother would have allowed me to throw all the pillows onto the floor as a kid. But when it's in a formed, structured, and fun atmosphere, and the child knows it's just for this time, we don't do this all the time willy-nilly, the kids get really involved. So amazing tip there. So if you want to look at OTs for your child, if you think they need some more behavioral kind of structure, that's where you need to go to. I also look at what supplements my kids are taking. I'll go through supplements a little further down the track in this webinar, but I always make sure they're of the highest quality and that they're going to feed their bodies and brains in a way that's going to have an effect. So I don't tend to use the mainstream supplements, okay? I'll leave it at that. And I also love to create rituals for peace and calm. I think we are a ritualistic society. You know, anyone who grew up in the Catholic Church will be aware of the rituals that go on there. But what about the other rituals that we do? We celebrate birthdays. We get together, we have a cake, we have candles, we sing a song, we blow them out. That's a ritual. What about when we're going to bed? Why don't we have a ritual? We put our diffuser on. We have some beautiful oils that the kids can smell. We put them in the bath. We may have a candle put up high in the bathroom while they're having a bath. You know, there's little things you can do. I know a lot of people like to read books before they go to bed with their kids. This is another great ritual. So think about the things that you can integrate into your family or you already are integrating, and make sure you make a list of all of these things as well. Now, I just want to point out, this is an informative talk. These are my personal opinions from years of experience as a mum, as a nanny, and just as a human. I'm not meant to diagnose here. I'm not treating any condition, and I'm not trying to take away any advice you've had from your primary health care or specialist doctors, okay? So just my opinion, just see if it works and resonates with you. So I want to talk to you about essential oils. What on earth are essential oils and why are they taking the world by storm? And what is this doTERRA? Oh my gosh, there's so much information, right? And who do you trust? All of this. So essential oils are the parts of the plants that give them their distinctive smell, and they actually protect the plant, and they help to play a role in plant pollination. So these come from the roots, the leaves, the flowers, stems, bark, seeds, and resins. Now, they are processed in a way that I'm not going to go into because that's what the scientists at doTERRA do, and the growers and harvesters and all of that. But they process them in a way that they produce this volatile oil, this oil that changes state very, very quickly. And so the physical and chemical properties allow it to move through the air and interact straight into our brain through the olfactory or the nose area. So it's quite an amazing thing. Remember, they are medicinal in the fact that they can cause a change in your body. So we want to treat them as nature's medicine. Did you know that the name doTERRA means gift of the earth? So I love this. It resonates so beautifully with me because I try to be as herbal as possible. I try to go back to nature as much as I can, and I try to cook food that comes from an unprocessed state. So knowing that I'm putting these oils on my body and up my nose when I inhale them, and also I ingest them, I know that I'm getting the best quality that money can buy. So how do I know this? It's because doTERRA are different. They are the biggest essential oil company in the world right now. After only 8 years in business, they have taken over in America as the biggest network marketing company. Now, they're not the biggest in the world yet. They're still held by Avon and Mary Kay in different regions. But as far as essential oils go, doTERRA are your guys. And why? It's because they wanted to create an industry standard right from the beginning. doTERRA oils make sure that everything is third-party tested as well as in-house tested. And they call their certification Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. Now, this is their own certification that they've given themselves because they wanted to make sure that there was something. It was an unregulated industry. And it was quite often referred to as a bit of a backyard hobby business. And there's a lot of folklore and history and wise women kind of talk around essential oils. But doTERRA, the founders, they wanted to make sure that the world received a product that was tried and tested and pure and does what it says it's going to do. So in your bottles of doTERRA oil, you can be sure there are no pathogens. There's no synthetics. There's no heavy metals, no fillers. It's just the oil. And you can be assured of the potency and the consistency of every oil that you buy. So I want to go through some important considerations. How on earth do you know which brand to go with? Well, don't just take my word for it. I want you to understand a few basic principles when you're buying. Now, this is true for everything, not just for essential oils. So you want to make sure that the Latin name of the plant that is in the oil, or that is the oil of, that you are getting the right one. So there's several species of many plants, especially lavender. You want to make sure you're getting the specific one for the specific thing it's going to do for you. Now, are you also able to find out the name of the country where the plants are grown? So the information by knowing this, and I can tell you doTERRA provide this information, is that you'll be able to know where the oils are coming from, what their conditions are like. You can research into it, and you can know that some herbs and plants are grown and they'll be very different region to region. Let me give you an example. I could grow a herb garden here in my backyard in Sydney, and I could have a beautiful crop of, let's say, rosemary or basil or oregano. Now, for eating purposes, I may not be able to tell the difference, but when they're tested to find out the chemical constituents and to test for efficacy and potency, it may be very different to a rosemary or a basil or oregano that was grown in its native country of origin, or in a condition which has excellent growing conditions to produce a potent, volatile essential oil. So I want you also to consider when buying essential oils that the company you buy from has a statement about purity. You should 100% know if you do not have 100% essential oil. So it just means it's been mixed or filled with something else. Now there's a few oils with doTERRA that have been mixed with something else. These are things like rose or Roman chamomile, oils that are very, very, very expensive to produce. So you will always know if there's coconut oil added to it. And there's a very good reason for that, because you want to know that the money you're spending is going into a pure oil or into a blend. I'm not saying blends are bad. I'm just saying check where they're coming from. doTERRA have a lot of blends, and they have a lot of blends of different oils, and then they add them to a base oil like coconut oil. And I want you to look at the cost comparison. Never let cost be your deciding factor. Let the labeling, let the country of origin, let the sustainability of their resources, let their statement about purity come into your cost comparison. If the oils you're buying already are very, very cheap, there's a reason for that. I want you to smell them. I want you to feel them on your skin. I want you to test them against doTERRA oils or other brands. Do you expect them to smell the way they smell? When I smell peppermint from doTERRA, it's like I'm in a room full of Christmas candy canes. I'm not kidding. It's amazing. So I eat a lot of these oils. I cook with them. I use them for different symptoms that I might be feeling. Not all of them, mind you, can you eat. But I want to make sure if I am going to put something in my mouth, it's pure. I want to make sure it's safe. I want to make sure that it's potent. And I want to make sure that I need only the smallest amount for the biggest effect. So how do the oils affect you in the mind and body? Well, we're talking about the limbic system and the olfactory system. So the olfactory system is all the organs that relate to your sense of smell. So usually that's how you first experience an essential oil. And when working with kids, especially those under 5, that a lot of their use of aromatherapy will be through their nose. You'll be putting on diffusers or rubbing them on their chest, and then they'll smell these beautiful oils. So as soon as the molecules of the oil go up into the nose, they go straight into the brain. They're carried through, and they can also go into the lungs and through the whole of the respiratory system. So once you inhale these oils, they go right through several systems and pathways in the body. Now, the limbic system is directly connected to the part of the brain that controls your heart rate, your blood pressure, your breathing, memory, your stress levels, and your hormone balance. So essential oils, when you inhale them, can have a profound impact on your body. So what you need to remember is some oils are not for everyone. You'll find that some people have a very strong reaction to lavender. Now, I did for a very long time. I didn't like it. I wanted to like it. All of my massage clients loved it, but I couldn't stand it. And that's because it was affecting a part of me that needed to heal. Now, emotional healing is really important, and being aware of that. So after I would say about a year of using an oil blend from doTERRA that contained lavender in it, I found that I was able to heal that part of me that wasn't able to have pure lavender. It was connected to some memories that were good, but still painful to remember. And so after a year of using a blend called Lavender Peace, it's my favorite, it's beautiful, I can now have lavender on. I can have it diffusing in my home. I use it willingly in my massage treatments, and I find that it's changed me a little bit. It's softened me. And so if you find yourself having an adverse reaction, like a really strong, I really hate that smell, I would mind betting that there's some healing in that area for you. So we can talk about that if you're a bit stuck and you don't know where to go and how to fix that. So the 3 ways to use essential oils for babies up to about 12 years. After 13 years, I tend to class my kids as adults. I might dilute them the oils a little bit, but for the most part, I treat them as adults. So first of all, I've talked about aromatherapy. So you can diffuse. We don't burn with doTERRA because that changes the chemical constituency. So we don't want to change the molecules, do we? We want to keep them the same. So doTERRA have beautiful diffusers that will just pump not hot, steam kind of into the air, and it doesn't change the oil at all. So that's straight from the diffuser. You can actually take a drop, put it in your hand, rub your hands together. It won't bruise. It's not a perfume. It's an oil. And then you can just puff over the nose and take a few deep breaths. I often do this at the start of my yoga classes that I teach. I do find that it helps to really calm people down very quickly. Or you can waft under the nose. Now, just be careful when you're showing your children how to use these oils by sniffing them. You don't want them to, you want them to waft, okay? Just let it waft under their nose and let them breathe gently, and then they'll get a true, gentle immersion into the oil. So this will help you affect mood, help to change, maybe uplift the atmosphere or calm down the atmosphere. It helps to clean the air as well, and it helps to ease breathing. So diffusing is a really wonderful way of getting those oils to your children. Topically, it's about massage. We apply them directly to the skin. For little ones, always dilute. Always, always, always dilute with coconut oil. doTERRA have fractionated coconut oil, which means that the oil won't go solid under 24 degrees, which as a massage therapist, I'm well aware of this, and I have to keep putting my massage oil in a bucket of hot water to loosen it and soften it. So fractionated coconut oil from doTERRA is amazing, and you can just mix your oils. Now, we'll get to mixing a little bit later, and I'm always available if you have specific things you want to mix, and I'll help you with that. It can be a bit tricky. I think everyone has their own way. I've got my way. I'd love to share my way of dilution with you. It provides immediate comfort. So there's a reason why the hands are the most healing part of anyone's body. I believe it was Hippocrates, the father of medicine, and he said the most important thing that a doctor can learn is to rub or massage, because that is where you're going to find the most healing. There is something about our hands. There is something about when our little one has a sore head, we put our hand onto their forehead and we help to calm them down. A hand on their chest or a hand behind their back can really help to soothe and comfort even the most fractious of children. So remember, you have the most important tools right here on your body. Now, you can also take oils internally. I'm not going to talk about that today because I believe that's more for adults. But yes, I do ingest oils all the time, and I found profound healing from ingesting of oils. So if you, for yourself, want to talk about ingesting oils and how you can do that, then please let me know. So let's keep going. The research. I'm big on research because I'm based in science, and I like to know how it works, why it works, has it been tested. Now, bergamot is my favorite oil, so I've put it up here. It's a citrus. It's so gorgeous. I drink an Earl Grey tea every day, and I use this oil in it. So I want to talk to you about a couple of different studies that I found are very, very exciting in the world of aromatherapy research. So in 2011, a study showed that blending an essential oil blend that included bergamot helps to treat people with depression. They mixed it with lavender, which has been known to help with anxiety, depression for many, many years. Bergamot and lavender, oh my gosh, the best blend ever. And it helped to lower their blood pressure, their pulse rates, breathing rates, and skin temperature. So that tells us that it helps not only with depression, but it can also help with anxiety as well, because we know anyone who's suffered a panic attack or they suffer from anxiety a lot, they've always got this elevation going on. All the heat is rising, right, in the body. They start to feel their chest constrict, their heart rate will keep going, their blood pressure will go up, they'll feel hot and clammy. This is a true sign of anxiety and panic attack rising. Bergamot and lavender has been shown to help slow down and reduce these rates. Now, also, compared with the placebo, the blended oil of lavender and bergamot was found to have a profound effect as well. So we do know that you don't always need medication. You can use oils or you can use a placebo effect. And I love the idea that placebos keep the medicine industry honest, right? Because that tells us that it's all in here. And that's a good thing. When people say, oh, it's all in my head, yes, healing is all in your head. We need to find ways to tap in, turn things down, and tune into our inner self to find peace again. This is amazing stuff. Next one, lavender. Hello, lady. We found that the International Journal of Psychiatry in Clinical Practice reported that 80 milligrams of lavender oil can alleviate anxiety and depression, and there's no side effects from using this oil. This is such great news because everyone knows that there are side effects to commercial medications. So using your oils, there's been no adverse effects. Love it. In 2012, another study showed that women who were at high risk for postnatal depression found that by just diffusing lavender in their home, they had a significant reduction of postnatal depression and reduced anxiety disorder after 4 weeks of lavender aromatherapy. So why am I bringing that up in this particular one? It's not pertaining to Calm Kids. It's because I couldn't find a study on Calm Kids. The reason I'm using this one is because PND is a it's well known thing that happens to some women after having babies. And it's something that we fear. And those of you, I've had it, and those of you who have had it will know that it is really, really challenging on many, many levels. And if lavender oil can help women with postnatal depression, it's going to be able to help your kids as well. So this is something to keep in mind. I love it. It's also shown that lavender aromatherapy improves mood, and the study that was done on people that have post-traumatic stress disorder helped to elevate their mood. It's just amazing, you know, like my dad was diagnosed with PTSD many years ago. I've had many, many clients that come to me that have PTSD, and there's something to be said about the soothing oil of lavender and bergamot with clients that have PTSD. So if you are experiencing PTSD, you're under treatment, you think you may have it, I definitely recommend that you use lavender and bergamot. Vetiver, or vetiver, as my husband likes to say. He likes to think he's French. Vetiver is an oil that is usually used in blends that I had known before, but with doTERRA it comes in a single oil. It's an amazing, amazing oil. It is so grounding, it's so calming, it smells like the earth, and it's excellent for massage therapy. So if you're a massage therapist, you need to use this oil. But it's also really good for promoting sleep. I use this on my Master 9 a lot, and he always says, it doesn't work, and then he's asleep within 5 minutes. The nights I don't use it is the nights that he's up and down all the time. It's known as the oil of tranquility, and it's used a lot in kids who have ADD or ADHD. And I think it's so ironic because it's the thickest of oils. So when you tip your bottle to wait for the oil to come out, if you're using orange or lemon, it'll just pour out, you know. But when you use vetiver, it takes so long. The irony of asking a child with ADD to stand still while you put oil on them. But it works. It's amazing. This is made from a grass. You can see the picture there, and it's sourced from Haiti. And it's really helped with the economy over there after the disasters of the cyclones. And I just find that knowing where it comes from, knowing that it's helping farmers, it's helping communities get back on their feet because of doTERRA's co-impact sourcing plan and program, I love it that every time I use this oil on my son, which is most nights of the week, I know that the farmers are getting paid. So it kind of makes me feel good as well. This is a really cooling oil. It's used a lot in countries like India and Sri Lanka. So it's really good in times of very, very hot summers like we're having now in Sydney. It soothes your anxiety, it soothes nervousness, it cools the body. So, I mean, it's the best oil. I love it. So how can oils help you and your family? Well, I'm going to cover a few different challenges: tantrums, anxiety, bedtime, and ADD, ADHD. So I just want to differentiate between a tantrum and a meltdown. All right, tantrums tend to be more mild. The child will still tend to be able to control their behavior. They'll calm down a lot of times if you ignore them. And tantrums are a sign that they're struggling with their emotions and they're struggling with verbalizing and they're having a hard time getting it out to you. A meltdown, on the other hand, like that's catastrophic. You know, when you've got a child who has meltdowns, they are unconsolable. You cannot control what they're doing. They cannot calm down themselves. It turns into World War 85. These are serious stuff that's going on. So I want to talk to you about the tantrum stage before it escalates into meltdown stage. And I certainly wouldn't, if one of my children was having a true meltdown, I certainly wouldn't be running up to them going, here, I'll just give you some Bedivere, hold still. It's not going to work, okay? So I want you to understand that, in my opinion, anger and frustration are the number one emotions that cause tantrums for kids and, you know, and for adults. So there's plenty of adults having tantrums and meltdowns everywhere. And it's because they haven't learned, and we haven't taught our kids how to navigate these very, very strong feelings that they're having. So the most important thing is, when your child is having a meltdown, you stay calm yourself. When your child is having a tanty in the middle of Coles because they want it, they don't know what it is, but they want it, and you've said no, you need to stay very calm. I'm blessed by having an older child. She's 8 years older than my youngest, and we often have a bit of a joke. I might give her a wink, or I might say things that will go straight over the top of my little one's head. But my eldest one and I will be able to have a bit of a private joke. It lightens my heart, it takes my frustration out, and it makes it easier to deal with little Miss, who's got a very strong personality and likes to tell me all the time about her personality. And it helps to diffuse my heat, my anger that's rising, right? It's going up and up and up. So if you can find little ways, you can have your own little private jokes with one of your elder children, or you can have a little private joke with someone who's passing you by. You'll be amazed at how people want to help you if you're in a situation in a shopping centre where someone's having a little private moment by having a tantrum on the floor and they won't stand up. I've seen kids ripping their clothes off and running around in their nappies and shoes in shopping centres, you know, and I give the mum a smile. I say, can I help you with anything? I step in. I just try to be supportive. And, you know, people love to help. So if you ask someone to help you, you'd be amazed at what will happen in those situations. So if it's another child you ask to help you, or if it's a shop owner, or if it's a passerby, you know, if you just say, oh, help, you know, any advice? And don't take anything personally. Your child's having their own moment, their own center of expression, and it's nothing to do with you. But what does have something to do with you is how you manage the entire way of dealing with the tantrum. So if the child is having a tantrum, I like to ask them what they want. And they might say, I want that. And I say, you want that? And they say, I want that. And I say, you want that? And we do this a few times until they start to go, yeah, I want that. And I say, well, I'm really sorry you can't have that. And then it goes on again. I want that. I'm sorry you can't have that. I want that. You want that? I want that. Oh, you want that? You want that? I'm sorry, I'm not buying that today. So you can stay very calm. And after a while, they start to get it. So you need patience here to do that. But it stops them in their tracks when you acknowledge and point to what they want. When you acknowledge what they're saying. I don't want to go. You don't want to go? I don't want to go. You don't want to go? I don't want to go. Right? So practice this with your little one. It may diffuse the entire situation. You're acknowledging them. You're not writing them off. You're not walking away. You are standing there in that moment with them, and you are with them. And then you put your guidelines in place. It's very easy. Okay, so ask them what they want. Acknowledge what they're saying rather than just straight out, I've got a bug, sorry, rather than just straight out saying no. So oils to help with tantrums. Now, lavender peace is the picture that you can see, and that's what I was using first of all before I started using lavender. Lavender peace is a blend, and it helps to calm the entire nervous system down. It's very grounding. It's very soothing. I use it a lot in my yoga and meditation classes. Now, you can use either lavender peace on its own, or you can use lavender on its own. It makes no difference. You can also use bergamot oil to help the anxiety and the heart rates and whatnot. And I've just noticed here, I've written, it helps with the sundowning effect of residents in nursing homes who have dementia or Alzheimer's. It helps to ease their anxiety. So if it's going to help with older people with brain conditions, it's going to help with your little one as well. So I use, for my kids, I'll put lavender on and bergamot in my diffuser for when they get home from school. Or if it's been a long, long Saturday, I'll put it on in the afternoon just to help ease the day. And lavender piece, I will often just put behind my ears, just one little drop just behind my ears, and I keep it with me in my handbag for periods of time when I know I'm going to need some help. So imagine if you're going to a big, like a Wiggles concert, there's lots of people, parking is going to be an issue, there's going to be a lot of prams, a lot of pushing, just a lot. I use a little bit of lavender piece just to help keep me calm and centered and grounded. Frankincense I've also listed there. This is the king of the oils. Frankincense will have a profound effect on any person at all, and it helps to really bring people down a few notches from when they're starting to get, when people get high, like their blood pressure rises, their voice goes up, they get very powerful in their speech, and they're going higher and higher and higher. This will help to calm them down. Frankincense is an excellent one to blend with lavender or lavender piece. Peace essential oil. It's a doTERRA blend. It is a reassuring blend, and it helps to counteract anxious and fearful emotions. And I've listed the ingredients that are there on the screen. I really like this blend, and I love that it comes in a roller bottle as well. You can buy it already blended with coconut oil, and you can just roll it here or along the décolletage. It's really great for kids because it's pre-blended, so you don't have to worry about mixing and diluting. It's already there for you. It's really great when you just want to help calm down a little person. Excellent start of school oil to help with transition, and excellent if kids are suffering from night terrors and they want some calming, reassuring before they go to bed. Rub on the soles of their feet and around the sides of their neck so they can inhale it during the night. Instantly calm. It's one of my favorite blends. I do use it a lot in my meditation and yoga classes as well. So anxiety, it's a general term, for several disorders that cause nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worrying. And these disorders can affect how you feel and how you behave, and they manifest as real symptoms. So as I mentioned before, you might have some kids that, constantly get headaches. They might constantly feel sick, or they might have stomach pains. This could be anxiety rather than a physical thing that's going wrong. This is an emotional thing that's going wrong, and it's manifesting as a physical symptom. So what I would use, if you think your little one is overly worried, overly anxious, overly cautious, are they constantly asking you things, and you think to yourself, why are you even asking me? Why are you worried about that? This is a sure sign that your little one has some fear. They're nervous. They're anxious about things. So use the oils like lavender, bergamot, vetiver, and even ylang ylang. Ylang ylang is a beautiful, calming, it's the oil of romance and passion, but it's very soothing as well. So if that's in your stash for you and your partner, that you use in the bedroom, let's say, it can also be used for kids because it's meant to calm and sedate. So it's a really good oil to use in association with lavender. I love lavender and ylang ylang together. It's a beautiful blend. So if you think your little one is suffering with anxiety, and it's not bad enough that you need to go to the doctor, but you're just starting to hear, little words that kind of relate to being worried or fearful, then try using some oils to help calm that down and open up the dialogue with them then. Ask them what's going on. What are they thinking about? What are they feeling? Put some words out for them. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling worried? Are you feeling scared? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling bored? Are you angry? And find out what is going on for them. I like to always ask my kids, where do you feel that anger? And which is really weird, right? We're not often taught to determine where we're feeling our emotions, but I think it's really important. It's very healing to do this exercise. So if you have a child who is getting really cranky with their Lego and starts throwing it, you could say, stop doing that, stop throwing your Lego. Or you could say, how are you feeling, mate? What's going on for you right now? And they might say, nothing, it's dumb, I hate it, I can't do it. Mate, sounds like you're frustrated. Do you know what frustrated is? No. Okay, well, frustrated is when everything tenses up and you just want to throw stuff. Yeah, I feel frustrated. Okay, good. Can you tell me where you feel that? everywhere. Nah, I reckon you feel it somewhere. Is it in your hands or is it in your chest? Is it in your throat? Oh, it's just here. Excellent. It's in your chest. You feel frustrated in your chest, right? Are you with me? This is how I do it with my kids. What would it feel like if you didn't feel frustrated in your chest? Nothing? Good. And if you felt nothing in your chest, how would you feel? Happy? Good. Say happy a few times to yourself, and then we'll start the Lego again. Now, sometimes it happens just that quick. Sometimes you might need to go through it again because they might still be stuck in their frustration, but what you're doing is you're tripping the switch. You're helping them to name and label the emotions they're feeling, putting a name into it, noticing where they feel it in their body, and they're starting to separate from it, and they don't even realize. All they know is that they're feeling annoyed in that moment of time. So I encourage you to start practicing that technique of asking the child how they're feeling. Don't be too fancy with your words. Keep it very, very simple and see how they go. Look, if they're under 4, it might be hard. If they're very verbal, see how you go. But definitely primary school age kids and older, I do this with adults all the time. Very, very good technique. You identify the emotion, find out where it's sitting in your body, and ask what it would feel like if it wasn't there and how they would feel if it wasn't there, okay? So my favorite blends for dealing with kids that are anxious or having tantrums are Peace Blend and Lavender Peace, the two that I've mentioned just before. They include the vetiver, the lavender, the frankincense, and the chamomile. And of course, you can buy these through doTERRA. All right, bedtime challenges. I create consistent rituals some of the time. So I don't expect you to be perfect, but what I do ask of you is that you try and be consistent for at least 4 nights in a row, because after 4 nights, you'll start to see a difference. So commit to 4 nights and then see if you can stretch it to 7. And then see if you can stretch it to 2 weeks. But, you know, you'll always forget one night. Things always get in the way. It might be a very busy evening of after-school activities. So don't beat yourself up. Just try and be consistent for 4 nights. So maybe you'll do it Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That might be your thing. Or you might want to do it Monday to Thursday during the week, okay? So choose your time. Commit to it. Stick something up on the wall to remind you, diffuser, 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 create my ritual. So every afternoon, I want you to think about what you can put in your diffuser blend. Look, I would start simple and easy. I would use lavender and bergamot or lavender peace, and about an hour before bedtime, preferably in the area you're all spending your time in as a family, put your diffuser on and use about 5 drops of whatever blend you choose to put into your diffuser of lavender and bergamot or lavender peace. And then at bedtime, move your diffuser into the child's room. Now the diffusers with doTERRA are excellent. They actually come with a timer for 1, 2 or 4 hours. So it'll turn off after that time, or it'll turn off when the water runs out. So having a diffuser in the child's bedroom is great. Another little point, the pedal diffuser has a beautiful little light, so you could have a night light in there if that is a problem for your kids as well. So another thing I like to do with my kids is do a very, very quick foot and lower leg massage. And I'll use things like Peace Blend, or I'll use vetiver, or I'll use lavender and rub on their feet. Now, as my son's getting older, he's wanting more of the vetiver and Peace Blend rather than lavender, which is fine. Lavender's for girls, right? Not really, but that's what he says. So I'm just changing my ritual with him a little bit. And, you know, I'm just being flexible, because as a mum, I need to be flexible to realize that he's a kid, he's got his own ideas, and I need to be able to honor and respect that within my own boundaries. So, do you have a kid who has ADD or ADHD? My little one was diagnosed a couple years ago now with ADD, and I found that I wanted the diagnosis because I wanted to learn more about him. I wanted to learn how to speak his language. And I'm very aware that that is a different opinion to other people, where they don't want the diagnosis and they don't want the label and all of that. The reason I wanted it was because I wanted other people around him to understand him. And he's an exceptional child. He makes my heart sing, and he makes everyone around him happy. and sometimes frustrated because they don't speak his language. And so if I'm there and I can advocate for him, then they can learn to love and appreciate him like I do. So here's my natural holistic approach to management of children with ADD or ADHD, and I am well aware that there are a big range of different behaviours and challenges that come with kids that have this label, but this is what I would always start with. So I remove foods to avoid. You'll see my list down the side. I remove them, for months at a time. You can't remove it for one day. You can't remove it for 7 days. You need to give their body time to detox and get the chemicals out of their body. So sugar, get rid of it. Dairy, get rid of it. You can use the A1 milk protein sometimes, but your kid might be sensitive to that as well. Definitely MSG. It's in a lot of those snack foods. We don't want those in those kids' bodies. Gluten, we don't want gluten. It can cause irritation in very sensitive kids, and ADD kids tend to be sensitive. So you might find that they have other things going on, like they might have eczema, they might have intolerances to food, they might have allergies to food. So we just want to get rid of all the things that are known to cause irritation in someone's body. Yeast extract, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, which is in heaps of crap stuff at the moment. Caffeine, so get rid of energy drinks, absolutely no coffee anyway because they're kids, and no tea. Get rid of food colorings and dyes, so those beautiful rainbow cakes, they're gone. Nitrites that are in lunch meats, you need to get more proactive and start making different things like tuna salad or salad sandwiches or cheeses. We can't have dairy, so that's hard. See the trap? I meant that. So you need to be able to find ways of getting food into them that is not part of this list. It's tricky. And I know that, and I've done it for myself. I lived on an elimination diet for 3 years because I had severe intolerance to foods. Gone now. And I also have it in 2 of my kids. One of my children could not eat strawberries. He was just out of his mind if he ate strawberries. So I do understand how restrictive and hard it can be, but I like to look at the positive. Imagine how good and happy and peaceful your house can be if you take certain foods out of your cupboards. I had a client whose little boy had potential but was just mucking up in class and was getting in trouble. He was in kindy, and I just said to him, what's he eating? And I said, he has a popper every day at school, and he eats chips at home or whatever, and then he'll just keep drinking poppers all day. Poppers, for those of you who are not from Australia, they are just juice boxes. And I said, get rid of them. Get rid of the apple juice straight away. And he looked at me and I said, yep, just get rid of it and see what happens. And he was allowed to have them just on the weekends. And little changes like this made a huge difference for this little boy. He's now getting awards at school. He's doing amazing. His teachers are saying he is doing so much better than what they ever thought he would. And it's because of the dietary changes. A little bit of restriction in your family can lead to a lot of amazingness, so it's worth it. Get rid of artificial sweeteners, get rid of soy, all signs of soy in your home, get rid of it immediately. There is no need for soy in our diets. Increase your beneficial foods. I'll go into that on the next screen. We want to set up your rituals in the morning and evening. These rituals help a child to stay on a schedule. And kids like to have a schedule. They like their boundaries. They like to know what's expected of them. If there's no schedule, they can get quite ratty very quickly. And always diffuse a calming blend in the house of an afternoon, and see if you can diffuse oils in the classroom. Teachers love this. There's many teachers now using diffusers in the classrooms to help with mood, to help elevate, and to help focus and to help calm. So ask your teacher if they wouldn't mind putting a diffuser in their room with some of your oils. Foods that heal. High protein foods. Grass-fed organic beef, free-range chicken, eggs, wild-caught fish, and raw dairy if you can get your hands on it. Iron-rich foods are really great as well. Low iron levels are associated with fatigue, poor concentration, and poor mental function. irritability, poor memory, muscle weakness, and leaky gut syndrome. So get some iron in your body. Vitamin B6 is essential for brain function. So it helps with our feel-good chemicals. So we want to eat things like wild tuna and salmon, free-range chicken, turkey breast, bananas, and the list goes on. We want to eat free-range turkey and chicken, and if you can, organic. Tryptophan is in turkey. It helps with serotonin levels. So in many kids suffering from ADD and ADHD, there's imbalances in serotonin levels. So get turkey onto your kids' sandwiches, you know, not your lunch meats. Like cook your turkey, roast it yourself. You'll be carving it for days. And, you know, it's such a lovely meat, and it's really good before bedtime, by the way. That's a little tip for young players, because it helps you to sleep. Now, serotonin is that chemical related to impulse control and aggression, which are two issues with ADD and ADHD. So if you can help boost serotonin naturally, then that will make a huge difference. And lavender is known to affect serotonin levels in a good way in the body. And you want to get omega-3 foods in, like salmon. And there is a clinical trial that has been linked to low levels of omega-3 fatty acids and behavioural and learning problems. So ADD, ADHD supplements. Fish oil is better than Ritalin for ADHD, according to a study from the University of Adelaide in Australia. So children and adults with ADHD should supplement their diets with high-quality zinc supplements, because low levels of zinc are associated with poor attention and a variety of motor disorders. So you want to make sure they're eating dark green leafy vegetables, beans, and salmon. Children with ADHD typically need more B group vitamins to help maintain focus, increase their concentration, fight stress, relieve fatigue, balance energy, increase hormone levels or balance hormone levels, and produce healthy levels of serotonin. And children and adults all around the world should be taking probiotics daily. And there's a lot of studies that link ADHD is connected to problems in the digestive tract. So sugar and tap water, certain grains, certain medications, including antibiotics and environmental chemicals, can kill the healthy bacteria that's in your gut and decrease your digestive function. So the jury is out. What came first, the brain imbalance and the tummy imbalance, or did tummy imbalance cause the brain imbalance? So we want to treat both, all right? We want to make sure the food that goes in, the supplements you're taking, is treating your gut and nourishing your digestive system. And you want to make sure that the chemicals that are going into the brain through inhalation of your aromatherapy oils are affecting that to help calm down the gut. All right, so here's some amazing supplements that doTERRA have that you may not know about. They have the A to Z chewable, which is a blend of your B vitamins and A, C, and E, as well as botanical herbs and extracts. And it will help support healthy development of the cells. And it doesn't contain the nasties, gluten, dairy, wheat, soy, eggs, or nut products. It's $23.50, and you can buy it in your back office with doTERRA, and you have to be a member to get it at that price. Otherwise, it's 25% more. So it pays to be a member. You can get this on an auto ship where it just comes monthly, because your kids will be going through this every month, okay? Then I've got IQ Mega. It promotes cardiovascular health, supports healthy joints, it helps with immune function, it helps the function of the brain, helps with skin, and it's got wild orange essential oil in it, which is amazing for overall health in the body. Now, my son takes this without prompting every single day. When he was diagnosed with ADD, the specialist said that we could try him on fish oil for a time to see if that helped, or put him on Ritalin. So, of course, I chose the fish oil, and he gave me a study, and that was done on a particular brand of fish oil. And I found out that it needed to have over 1,000 milligrams of essential component, and the IQ Mega in doTERRA has that. And so when he takes it, I can definitely tell he's been taking it. When he stops taking it, I'll often say, "Man, you taking your oils?" And then he'll know as well. It helps to calm his brain down. It helps him to focus and concentrate. So it's $36 US. It comes every month in my order because my son goes through it. And it's awesome, you know, like it really works. And I'd rather have my son, because he's mild, I'd rather have him on an omega-3 blend than on Ritalin, you know. I do believe medicines have their place though. So if that's been your path, obviously stay on them, but try your supportive things as well to see whether they can be weaned off over time under the help of your specialist. My favorite supplement for the kids is PB Assist Junior. This is their probiotic, and it's in little sachets, and so it doesn't have to be kept in the fridge. It can go anywhere with them, and it helps to balance the good bacteria in their gut. So my kids love it. They just rip off the top and they use it as like a straw. It has no sugar in it. It's sweet though. It has sweeteners in it that are safe for the gut, and it's $29.50 for a month's supply. So I find that this is an excellent one to use for my kids because I never have to prompt them to take it. In fact, they're always asking me, can they take it? So PB Assist Junior will help with that positive bacteria in their gut to help keep their gut balanced and healthy. So here's my little kit that I've put together. It's called the Calm Kids Kit. It includes lavender peace, it includes peace blend, bergamot and vetiver, plus a diffuser and 2 roller bottles that you can see up there. Roller bottles are excellent for filling with some coconut oil, a couple drops of whatever you want, and then taking it with you on the go. So it's available from doTERRA. You can buy it through me. You need to buy it through me because I'm going to give you the roller bottles as well. And it's $255.65 plus shipping. So there's 3 ways to purchase your oils or supplements with doTERRA. You can become a wholesale member, a preferred member, or a retail customer. Now, it's always better to be a wholesale member because you don't have to buy every month, but you get the biggest discounts. So let's look at the wholesale membership offer. You get 25% off retail. No additional purchase is required. You are not expected to be a consultant like I am. You're not expected to start a business. You get free or discounted shipping depending on your orders, and you have access to me, and you have access to my private team. You have access to all my resources, and you can be in touch with me at any time on Instagram or Facebook or email for finding out how to use your oils and for any things you need, like for strategy, for planning, and for helping to create a calmer and happier household. So we always train you. We always give you ongoing support. And there's an option to receive a free doTERRA oil of the month, and that is if you order over a certain amount of oils each month. And you can actually earn income just by sharing your oils with your friends and not having a business. It's quite amazing. So I can tell you more about that, but you must be a wholesale member to even tap into all of this. With a preferred member, you get 20% discount off retail. It's a one-time enrollment fee of $35, and there's no additional purchase required. Full retail customer, why would you bother? There's no point. You need to become a wholesale member and get your 25% off. Now, in the kit that I just showed you, I've included your wholesale fee of $35 in that, okay? So it's all taken care of, no hidden extras. LRP is my promo of the month. It's amazing. A loyalty rewards program is when you become a wholesale member and you commit to buying every month for at least 3 months. Each time you order, you'll accrue some points. So if you were to buy that Calm Kids kit that I've just mentioned, you would be over 100 PV or personal volume. And that will qualify you to earn commissions should you tell your friends about the oils and they want to buy something as well. If you order over 125 PV, you will get the free product of the month if you order before the 15th of every month. So that's every month, order before the 15th. Order over 125 points, you get a free oil straight away. And then every quarter or so, if you order over 200 points, you will get a special offer or promotion. So in December, they were giving away frankincense. It's worth $114 and you're getting it for free just by ordering your oils like you normally would. It's fantastic. So I have a personal promotion for everyone who's in my wholesale membership team, and that is this entire skincare kit of cleansing lotion, toning lotion, frankincense serum and moisturizing lotion. It's valued at over $100 and you get that free if you order on LRP for February, March, and April in 2017. So this month, next month, and the month after, I give you a full skincare kit just for looking after you and your family. How often do you get something for free that's worth this much? It never happens, right? All of the gift with purchases I ever see are little things that I don't actually need, like a new purse. I don't need a purse. I need a skincare kit because I don't look after my skin, right? Are you hearing me? This skincare kit is amazing. It will change your skin. It will help refine your pores. It will clean your skin, and it will help with fine lines, wrinkles, scars, blemishes, that sort of thing. It is beautiful and it's light, and being frankincense, we know it's the anti-aging oil. So it's amazing. So all you have to do to qualify for that free kit after 3 months on LRP is order over 101 points each month. So your average has to be over 101 per month in points. It's an amazing offer, and I invite you to join with me for 3 months. After the 3 months, you get your skincare kit, but you will also have probably 100 extra points to spend on free oils. Like, it just keeps getting better. So if you want to start your healing journey, if you want to heal yourself, if you want to heal your home, and you want to heal the world, you want everyone to feel better, you need to be on LRP. It's an excellent program. It will help you with your bottom line and your overall financial budget for the year, because you will be spending much less on medicines. You'll be spending your money more wisely on your oils, on your skincare, on your home care, because doTERRA have everything, on your supplements, and you'll be getting more things back in return. I mean, why would you shop at Coles when you can shop here in your own back office and find the things that you actually really like, and they're good for you, they're good for the environment, and they're helping local communities that are harvesting these oils all over the world. It's a win-win. So what do you do now? Well, simply go back to the person that put you in touch with doTERRA in the first place. But if it was me and you want to be on my team, then go to here, mydoterra.com/wisemama-oils, and put your kit together. This is a custom creation. You put your oils together in your order and then click the send button. Voila, they'll be at your door within 5 to 7 days. Now, if that's too hard for you and you're a bit confused, please email me, belle@thebellflowersclinic.com.au, and I'll be more than happy to get in touch with you and we can order this. Now, to create your own perfect supplement kit, especially for the products that were in US dollars, you need to get in touch with me, because I'd like to help you over the phone put your order through, okay? I just find it's a lot easier. I can answer any questions that you want, and we can hit the ground running and make sure we've got exactly the right things for you and your kids, all right? So that's it from me. I really hope you've enjoyed this webinar. I've really loved sharing this with you. It's been an honor and a privilege to talk to you about how you can help your family be the best version that it can be. And if you need help, if you need coaching, if you want to work with me one-on-one to get rid of some old stuff, to shake off your feeling a bit low, feeling like you haven't got much left to give in the tank, then I want to work with you. So get in touch with me. I'm here to help. First consult of 30 minutes is free, and let me see what we can do together. We can create magic and you can feel amazing. So I look forward to hearing from you. That's it from me.